When Kyleigh Lane was born, her first-time mom and dad never had a chance to ease their way into parenthood.
You know, it definitely was intimidating, scary, stuff that you never thought that you would have to deal with when you're just having a baby.
They noticed a big mark on her head on the left side, and she had what looked like kind of like a piece of skin was on her eye.
Baby Kyleigh was coughing up blood and had difficulty breathing. It soon became clear that the local hospital couldn't provide the care she needed, and she was transported to a NICU in Boston.
It was a nightmare. I was completely petrified. My question to the nurses was, is this life-threatening? What is going on? Is something really wrong with her?
Kyleigh was finally stabilized and was able to go home after 5 days. She seemed to be fine, aside from the obvious cosmetic issues.
But they did an ultrasound and looked at her eye and said, you know, this has grown into her cornea. It couldn't just be lasered off.
Kylie's parents were referred to Dr. Kathryn Colby at Mass Eye and Ear. That's where they began to fully understand the ramifications of the test results.
Kyleigh had a very large tumor on the surface of her eye.
She said you could leave it, but she wouldn't be able to use that eye. And she said we could have surgery to remove it, and she still probably couldn't see.
Or the final option was to actually use an artificial cornea to not only allow me to remove the tumor, but then to replace her damaged cornea and allow her the chance to see.
Dr. Colby suggested that Kyleigh have a keratoprosthesis, or K-Pro for short.
It's a plastic optical device that is sewn using a donor cornea as a carrier, but it's sewn into an eye, and the patient actually looks through the plastic keratoprosthesis device.
The idea of their baby going through anesthesia and several surgeries was a frightening one for Katie and Dan, but one they felt compelled to make.
I want my daughter to have everything she needs, and I want her to be able to see it in both eyes.
The operation went well. The next step was to strengthen Kyleigh's repaired eye, so key to its use in the future.
In order to get her brain to recognize the eye with the transplant and with the keratoprosthesis, we have to occlude the good eye to force her to use it.
So they suggested getting a contact that has a big black circle in the middle and putting that into her good eye so that she uses her bad eye.
With the contact in her good eye and having to rely on the new cornea, Kyleigh and her mom had a breakthrough moment.
She grabbed her taggy blanket, which is something that she loves, and just held it. And for her to be able to grab it from me, which, you know, I was holding her, my sister was holding the taggy blanket, and she just grabbed it from her and pulled it in just for comfort. And I was like, she saw it. Like, she saw that out of her eye. And so that was a huge thing for us.
Kyleigh continues to be monitored, but because of Mass Eye and Ear, her quality of life will be helped immensely.
You know, she's starting to respond verbally when she sees me and things like that, so it's very gratifying.
It's amazing. The whole situation, one of the luckiest things to be, you know, 10, 20 minutes away from Mass Eye and Ear.
She's so curious, she's so into everything.
She's living a completely normal life. Nothing slows that kid down at all, so, I mean, it seems like it's doing its job, and couldn't be more thankful for, you know, everything that's happened.